Welcome back, my friends, to the show that never ends. Now, I told you the other day that I was on stage at the Tivoli Theatre in Wimborne, and in the second half I started to shake and sweat, and my voice started to go. And worse than that, I went into a panic, and I was doing the wrong ending to jokes. Oh my God. You know, an example is a man went in a pet shop and said, "I'd like to buy a wasp." And he said, "We don't sell wasps." And when the steam cleared, he was in a fish and chip shop. That's two jokes, totally wrong, put in the wrong way. So I was sort of doing all that. I think it was something to do with all the pills I was taking. Anyway, it's come out now, this lurgy look. Yeah. So I've been to the doctors and I've just got a bit of a chest infection, so I've got to take rum. Yeah, that's it. Rum of an evening, scotch in the morning, and the odd little bit of Lemsip. Now, we've got to work out who's more in the shit than me at the moment. Is it Mohammed Al-Fayed, although he's dead, but the memory lingers on. There's becoming a pattern, isn't it, that dead people get accused of people saying, he did this, he did that, he did this. And of course, in a literal sense, cannot be found guilty because he doesn't have a right to defend himself. But that documentary does make everyone assume he was guilty, but assumption is not part of our law, and our law is pretty good unless you start locking up people for putting things on Facebook and releasing people that have murdered someone. But there you go. I won't go into that. So is it Keir Starmer? Is he massively in the shit again? Well, he's admitted to taking £20,000 of accommodation. I don't know why they saying it's £20,000 worth of accommodation. I suppose it's Lord Ali again. He's got an £18 million London home, and he let Keir Starmer stay in it, so his kid could revise for his GCSEs in peace. I mean, come on, are you kidding? But this house actually as well. They probably worked out it cost £20,000. He had £20,000 of the freebie because that was what it would. That's what they charged for it if it was an air nib or whatever they're called. Anyway, and the word round the campfire is that Keir Starmer made a film from that house during lockdown, saying everyone should stay at home, but it wasn't his home. It's unbelievable, isn't it? This is a man leading the government whose first move, right, was to destroy the education of thousands of kids by putting VAT on private schools. Now, private schools are not just for the posh. I sent my kids to private school. It cost me a fucking arm and a leg. I mean, I had 4 kids go through private schools. And ironically, the one who's doing the best is the one that didn't. But anyway, you see, what you're doing, you're punishing people who are trying their best for their kids, trying to improve their family. So loads of parents who scrimp and save to give their kids the best education, they can know that they can't afford that. They can't afford to send them to these schools now, as well as pay the VAT. The schools will have to put the money up. And what about the parents of the kids with special needs? So the message to them, alongside the pensioners, is, you know, go fuck yourself. But you know, Starmer's kids get special treatment. They get to revise their exams in an £18 million home. So I thought socialists were all sort of supposed to be the same. But no, it's just the same old socialist, isn't it? Fuck everyone else. But those at the top. Those at the top of the socialistic ladder take everything they can get. Yeah. And the question is, what about this Lord Ali? Who is he? What's he do? Well, he's a boxer, wasn't he? What's he getting from all this? He's not doing this for the goodness of his own heart, is he? I can't imagine him wanting to be Keir Starmer's mate. I mean, he's Mr. Boring, Mr. Charisma Bypass, isn't he? Did you see his party conference speech? He looked like a vicar, looked like a parson talking to his little flock. All I'm saying is no one gives anything, right, for nothing. No. So we know this guy had a pastor down the street, a big deal, and was involved in the selection of a lot of MPs. So how many strings is he allowed to pull for that much money? Who the fuck is actually in charge? We don't know, do we? I've got to take a little rest now and have a glass of water while we stick on something that's coming on to Ustream in a minute. A great comedian, a really, really great comedian. Here he is, Jerry Kay.
Friend of mine bought a brand new one-bedroom flat in East London, right? So it's about, I don't know, a quarter of this stage. It's tiny. I've been in bigger women, if I'm honest. But that's not a joke, it's a preference. Thanks very much, no.
Yes, it's the fantastic Jerry Kay. Check this guy out on Ustream. He is hysterical. Don't you worry about that.
Well, the best one, right? The best one's his sister, Kathy, right? Now, Kathy is fucking massive, right? Now, she stinks so bad, right? We call her Kathy the COVID test. Because we reckon if you're in the same room as her and you can't smell her, you've got COVID.
Coming soon, here on Ustream. Okay, back to other comedians. At the conference, while delivering his keynote speech and talking about the conflict in Israel, right, Gaza, Starmer said that we need to secure the release of the sausages. I never saw that. Instead of hostages, he said, do you know what's wrong with that conference? When people speak, let me get a bit of Jeffro's script here. Have you seen those perspex things like that? That one on stands like that? Well, what they've got is what I've got here, autocue. But it means you can turn your head like that as if you're looking at someone over there and you're looking at someone. They put them in the wrong places, don't they? They put them down here. So it's obvious. Now, you can't see these, can you? Can you see these, Harley?
I can see the one in your right hand just a little bit.
Right. So if I was to talk like that, you'd think I was talking to someone in the crowd. But no, they're down there, so, you know. And then they take a wide shot and you show the politician reading these things like that. It's like putting the lights on during a magician's act. You can see all the strings and the fucking stuff, can't you, eh? Sausages. Do you know what? I'll tell you this story before we go over to Ustream. And thank you for joining Ustream. Don't forget, all those of you with an annual sign-up, so in groups of 200, every 200 annual sign-ups, we pick 10 out and you get tons of goodies. They're all over there. You get a paperback book, a poster, a squirrel t-shirt, a mug, all our DVDs from all our styles. People love DVDs, don't they? You can actually show it, it's there, it's tangible, it sits on the mantelpiece. You'll get them sent to you when you're drawn out. 10 out of every 200 will get this huge, great big package. So I'm going to tell you a joke about how he got the word sausages wrong, and I did something similar. Hostages, sausages. When I was married, I won't tell you which one. We were sitting down at breakfast, and I wanted to say, "Can you pass the butter?" And do you know what I said instead? "Why don't you fuck off? You're ruining my life, you bitch." You know, it's easily done, isn't it? Well, there you go. Let's come over to Ustream and I'll try and croak my way through. We'll show you a few clips of things. You can get a chance to see my brand new show here on Ustream before anybody else. Yes, my latest concert up in Great Yarmouth. The greatest hits of Jim Davidson in the Swimming Against the Tide tour. There's been no mention of a disabled games. Now, I wonder why that is. Have they all got better? Anyone from the north of England? Well, fuck off back there. Coming soon, here on Ustream.